Hey everyone, welcome to Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy. Just a warning, big spoilers for Captain Marvel and every other Marvel movie are ahead. We've been getting a lot of questions in the comments about Captain Marvel and how the Tesseract ended up on Mar-Vell's ship. Well, I wanted to clear up a couple things and lay out the entire timeline for the Space Stone. Going way back before the universe existed, the Space Stone was one of 6 singularities that became Infinity Stones after the Big Bang. The singularities represent different aspects of the universe, but the Space Stone in particular represents the material world, the physical area where all objects reside. Since it embodies all physical space, in many ways it exists in all places at once. That's how it's able to open wormholes at any point in the universe, as easily as folding a sheet of paper in half and poking a hole through the middle. Then sometime over the next thousands of millions of years, a casing was created for the Space Stone and it was renamed the Tesseract. Then it ended up with Odin on Asgard. Thor Ragnarok revealed that Asgard's gold and treasures were obtained through exploiting other races. Perhaps Odin and Hela plundered the Tesseract from another world. But I have another theory. The design of the Tesseract is very similar to the Casket of Winter, which is the main weapon used by the Frost Giants. Maybe the Frost Giants created the casing and then used the Tesseract to invade Earth in the first place. Or the invasion of Earth might have been to seize the Tesseract from Odin. From what we've seen, only Asgard has the power to travel at will between the 9 realms. If the Jotuns would have achieved this power, they could have challenged Asgard for supremacy of the realms. At any rate, Odin decided to keep the Tesseract on Earth. This was likely because Earthlings didn't have the technology to detect the device, and also because what sophisticated alien race would ever want to come to Earth.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
Here's a small detail that I really like. The Tesseract was hidden behind a relief carving of the World Tree, and this tree is part of ancient Norse mythology. It's the belief that the 9 realms are part of some great giant tree. But in the MCU, as we learned in Thor, this has backing in science.
Your world is one of the 9 realms of the cosmos, linked to each other by the branches of Yggdrasil.
How cool is it that Odin hid the device that embodies space behind the mythical embodiment of space? Anyways, fast forward about 1,000 years and the Red Skull tracks down the Space Stone. He doesn't understand its literal application of traveling through space, just that it's extremely powerful and can give him the power of the gods. His scientist, Arnim Zola, harnesses the cube's energy to create laser guns. Pew pew! Sidebar, I always hoped that all of these Nazis were actually being zapped off to another world, and the Red Skull rebuilt Hydra as an interstellar space force. Then in Captain America 3, Steve Rogers would have to go to space and fight space Nazis. Hashtag Marvel, please hire me to write your movies. Anyways, the Red Skull ends up grabbing the cube, Raiders of the Lost Ark reference, and he disappears into space. Another bit of MCU continuity that I like, the beam that shot from the Tesseract to create the portal was duplicated in the Avengers. So, Red Skull was sent to the planet Vormir to perform penance for his evil deeds, proving that the Space Stone and the Soul Stone share a kind of stone consciousness. Back on Earth, Howard Stark recovers the Tesseract and studies it for several years. We know this because he drew it in his journals as seen in Iron Man 2. But remember that when he was studying it, S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't exist. But the S.H.I.E.L.D. precursor, SSR, would have kept the cube safe in some hidden facility, second Raiders reference. Enter Project Pegasus, a joint research venture between NASA and the Air Force. Because the facility was named after a winged horse from Greek mythology, we can assume that their goal was to create a new method for humans to travel to the stars, like weaning the space program off fossil fuels and onto creating an era of aviation powered by oats and carrots. Enter Mar-Vell, a Kree research scientist from planet Hala. Mar-Vell comes to Earth to develop a light-speed engine that travels faster than conventional hyperspace. Since the engine is powered by the Tesseract, we can assume that the cube is what attracted Mar-Vell to Earth in the first place. That and great movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Mar-Vell infiltrates Project Pegasus and at some point steals the Tesseract. I think it's likely she hid it inside of her pet Flurkin, who creates pocket dimensions inside of his body. Shortly after, Mar-Vell's project was scrapped and she was killed. The Tesseract remained on her ship until its returned to Earth by Captain Marvel and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Nick Fury. Fury rose through the ranks to become director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he kept the Tesseract hidden, until Odin's sons Thor and Loki have a family feud that nearly destroys a small town. This poor hamlet was already severely tilted by an overuse of Dutch angles. Then Fury authorized use of the Tesseract to create new Hydra-like weapons. Loki came to Earth, stole the Tesseract, and used it to bring an alien invasion force to Earth. The Avengers defeated the invaders and the Tesseract was returned to Odin's vault. Put another way, the Tesseract is like a mogwai. It belonged to an old man, then it was left with people who didn't fully understand it, and all hell broke loose. The Tesseract remained on Asgard for 5 years before Loki saved it from the realm's destruction. Afterwards, he surrendered it to Thanos, who was the first person to realize its full potential for teleportation and making everyone cry.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
So that's the whole history of the Space Stone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please let us know in the comments below. And if you found us for the first time, subscribe. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.